Hello there. I am Jim Elizondo from Real World Ranching, where our goal is to maximize your profitability while you improve your land the fastest. Today, we are going to do a laser coach session with Martin from Slovakia in Europe. Martin, could you please tell us a little about you and your operation?
Yeah, hi, Jim. So I'm from Slovakia. I'm just setting up my operation. I'm trying to get leases from the people that own the land. It is a 60-hectare land. It hasn't been used for 40 years for any agricultural purposes. Before that, there was an orchard. So I want to set up operation with sheep. Only for the meat, and and that's it. So on 60 hectares, I'm planning to start with 150 sheep, and I want to use that for growing meat on that land.
Okay, 60 hectares is almost 2.5 acres per hectare. So you multiply the 60 by 2.5, and that's the amount that you have. So that's around 150 acres.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So I read here that you are 250 meters altitude and you get around 600 millimeters, that's 20 inches of rainfall per year.
Yes.
And so that's similar to north central Missouri.
Yes.
Okay. And what is your number one challenge in your operation? As you just said, access and availability of land, so you're working on it, and you may have I hope you get a long-term lease, because with this type of management, you're going to improve the property.
Yeah.
Right? When you do total grazing, you increase the humus content, and with sheep or any other livestock, recycling nutrients the correct way in an even distribution, the land will improve year after year. So I hope you can reap those rewards, and at the end, both you and the landowner will benefit from him having you there working. Okay, then you ask, what are the protein supplements that you are using for the utilization of the dry grass as stockpile? You said you only know of soybean meal, and what else can you use? Also, what energy supplements to use for the spring flush to avoid diarrhea? And you ask if molasses will be a good choice. Is that it?
Yes.
Okay, then I'm going to go to do my best and answer the best I can. Thank you. Okay, so let's go to the first part. He's in Slovakia, in Europe. That means they get cold winters, and mainly spring, some summer rains, but not very often, and fall rains. So most of their grasses, the natural grasses, are cool season, and they would benefit from having some warm season annuals growing into them. Because the environment is similar to north central Missouri, tall fescue may be a good choice there, a good choice in part of the property. And as I said, when you're leasing land, it's better or indispensable that you lease it for at least 10 years, because I have been kicked out of leased land after 3 years in a year-to-year basis after I built dams, put fences, and planted grasses. So I lost money. Don't let that happen to you, okay? Okay. Doing total grazing compared to selective rotational grazing or to conventional set stocking or continuous grazing increases the grass productivity and improves the land. But to do this, you need to do certain type of management, because you're trying to get a higher efficiency in your harvest. You want your livestock to consume 80 to 90% of the available forage, which gives a much longer rest period in the rest of the farm. When people think about taking more of what is there, They only think about that part of the farm. And we need to think about the whole farm. When you do selective grazing, you take less and you move faster. That means you return faster. And the definition of overgrazing is regrazing a particular plant before it has fully recovered. So at high stocking rates, which type of grazing will create overgrazing? Well, of course, to continuous grazing, which gives around 10 days of rest only, because as soon as the plant regrows, it's the tenderest part and they go back to it. Or in rotational selective grazing, they will also return faster because they harvest less per grazing. When you harvest less per grazing, you have to return faster. When you harvest 80 to 90% of what is there while maintaining good body condition in your animals, and that's what we explain in the course of Total Grazing that I hope you're interested in taking, the online course, then you not only give a longer rest period, which is essential in cool season grasses to avoid scours, as you asked there, and you can stockpile larger areas of your farm for winter and summer drought use. So let's go back to your question. What are the protein supplements that you are using to utilize better the stockpile, which will be dry and many times low in protein and high in fiber? When the stockpile is low in protein and high in fiber, our ruminants, which sheep are ruminants, goats are ruminants, and cows are ruminants, cannot digest the fiber well, and then their digestive system gets constipated or blocked by too much fiber. And while you may see your animals full in the gut field, they will go down in body condition. In sheep, you need to hold them and feel their spine to see if they have good body condition or not. And you can look at their droppings to know if you need more protein or not. And when there is not enough protein, they will start to consume less. So you will know that. Now, what other supplements, high protein, small quantity proteins you can use? High quality alfalfa hay will be my first choice. Canola meal is another one. Rapeseed meal. I'm talking about supplements you can get in your environment. I'm not going to tell you to get a coconut meal or cottonseed meal. But if you can find cottonseed meal, maybe you can. That's another option. Cottonseed meal, not whole cottonseed, which will be high in gossypol and create fertility problems. Now, in the spring flush, your grass will be short, large, very high in potassium, which will create diarrhea, and low in fiber, and very high in protein to available energy ratio. That creates diarrhea. So what I suggest, instead of an energy supplement, is a straw or high fiber, low protein straw or hay. And the best is to have some stockpile grass so you can total graze, stockpile grass with green grass coming through it. Then no diarrhea will ensue, because diarrhea comes from a lack of fiber. Ruminants require fiber to do well, and we must have healthy animals to have productive animals. So don't let them get diarrhea, even if you need to offer them some straw early in the morning before the first break. All that is explained in the course, and it's an online course that you get to keep for life, and you get to ask questions in the Q&A sessions, and you get into a group where you can interact with other like-minded people that are regenerating their land at the same time. I hope you like this, and I wait for you on the next laser course session. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jim.